do 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 ba 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 do 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 ba ba da 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 da. I'm going to try out a microphone today, so you guys might actually be able to hear my voice as I speak. Just doing a little bit of in-betweening here. This is honestly probably the most boring part of animation to watch, but at least it's all got a good pace to it. A lot less like futzing around and more just nose to the grindstone going for it. I need to have this bad boy done by Saturday. We'll see if that happens. Because I still got to color and all kinds of nonsense. I don't think I'm going to outline it. I think I'm going to leave it rough just because I just don't have time to be inking. I want to ink it. I think it'll look better inked, but I don't have time, and also rough animation is very charming on its own. Of course, it'll make it more difficult to color, but I'm hoping I'll still save a little bit of time. Turn my music up just a little bit. I don't know if you guys have a preference for me talking or not. All one of you that are in the stream right now. Starting to look pretty good. Try to not use the onion skins unless it's real close like this, in which case I just decide to, because it speeds things up. But normally I like to flip more than anything, because it gives more life to the animation if you do that. So you can actually see it moving, and you can make judgment calls based on what your eye sees moving and not just on what the machine tells you about where the halfway point is and stuff like that. Oh boy, this is getting real close here. I don't like that in between. I'm going to change that up a bit. It stretches too much. Should probably have a little tooth here so it doesn't disappear so quickly. And a tongue. It's kind of weird working on a map part. It's a song and then having music on in the background, but I feel like it'd be too creepy if I just sat here and there was no audio whatsoever. Although half of you probably have it muted and are listening to your own music anyway, because that's what I do when I go to a stream usually. And by half of you, I mean one of you, because there's only 2 people watching. I'm very popular. Alright, what's in between these frames? Probably want to favor this frame. Oh, hey, little raindrops here. Yeah, I actually should go to bed too, because I need to be up like at 5 tomorrow to bake some bread for a friend before I get to work. But I just got a new microphone and I was eager to try it out, so I thought I'd stream for at least half hour, an hour or something. Also, I assume you guys can hear me. I don't know if anybody can say hi back. Let me know if my mic's actually going through. Oh, good. You can't hear me. Good. Yeah, I thought there was an issue with my computer, and it turns out I'm just a dork and didn't do it right. So the problem was that I just didn't have a good mic. But that's good, because that means I didn't have to spend money on fixing my computer. I did have to take it into the shop, so that was a hassle, but at least it's taken care of now. And I found a new computer shop in town that I really like, and they're right down the street from me, sort of, compared to like the other place I used to take it to was like way out in the next state over, so I'm actually pretty excited about that. Plus they're like a local place. I don't really like taking my stuff to like Best Buy and stuff like that, because it just, the people don't always know what they're doing there half the time. So I'm really happy that I found like a good local place. Oh yeah, it was a hassle. I was having to drive out to Alabama, and it was like down this highway, like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, this guy was great, but it was just kind of a long way to go for that. So I haven't been keeping up with the stuff in the Discord, but like, how are the map parts going? How's, like, is it looking like we'll be getting this done in time? I don't remember the name brand. Let me see. Huh, it doesn't have a name on the microphone anywhere. It's a headset. It has a lion on the side of it. I think it's like a Chinese brand or something from another country, because the instructions were like written in very, you know, you could understand them in English, but like the wording was kind of funny, and that tends to be the case when it's like a company that is not American based and doesn't have a fancy translator, and they just kind of translated enough and it works and you can understand it, which is the point. But you can kind of tell, like, oh, these are not native American speakers or native English speakers. Oh no, sorry to hear your last map flopped. I hope I don't turn mine in late now. That tends to happen with me, but I'm trying my best to actually get this in on time. Especially because I have some other freelance I need to finish too, so I'm trying to make sure both of those things get done by Saturday. Don't know if they will. I almost didn't get to it tonight because I got a headache, but I was like, I can do a little bit of this and then go to bed, and then my headache will be gone in the morning, hopefully. Well, I have to rush a little bit or I just won't do it. I'm either like rushing it or it just doesn't get done because I get caught up in making it try to look really good, and then I spend way too much time perfecting it, and then it just never gets done. So at this point I'm like, let me just plow ahead and try to just get it done. And I mean, I'm pretty happy with it anyway. I think it's looking pretty good. So it's not like a situation where I'm like, this looks terrible, but I have to finish it. It's like, no, I like where it's going. But like I was saying earlier, I'm probably not going to finalize the lines in any way. I'm just going to leave them rough and just do my colors, because I just don't have time to also do like an inking pass on this, like a cleanup pass. So I'm probably just going to do like what they did in old school Disney movies like Robin Hood and the Aristocats, where everything's kind of shaggy looking. Only it won't look as good as that, obviously, because it's not going to be Disney. I'm going to onion skin this because it's not as important as the face, and also it's really close together, so it's not a big deal. I try not to rely on the onion skin tool too much because it can become a crutch. Okay. I know. That's looking pretty good, actually. I think those eyebrows could delay a little more, but oh, they also get kind of thick randomly. Oh, it's because they don't. Oh, nice. Which one was part 9? I remember seeing one with like the lightning. That looked pretty cool. And then there was one with like an eye blinking, I think. Ha ha ha. Yay, I'm winning you over to Krita. Yeah, the brushes are way nicer. It's more like drawing in Photoshop compared to like using something like Animate. It's just super nice. And for a free program, I'm like super duper impressed with it. I think the only thing that could be better than it would be something like TV Paint, which costs an arm and a leg. Oh boy, do I need to in between all that out? That's gonna take all night. I might skip it. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go all the way down. I'm just gonna have her go into this blink. Could honestly probably skip some of these in betweens, go anime style and just do it on like 6s and 4s. That would actually save me a ton of time. Maybe I'll do that because I'm worried I'm not gonna finish this. Because I still gotta color this, and then I still gotta do the other part, and then I still gotta finish the backgrounds. Because I'm crazy. Oh yeah, I think I remember that part now. I'll have to go back and watch it later. I actually really like Holly Leaf as a character quite a bit. She's sort of a very extremist kind of character. Like she's very like, she's very black and white. Like this is the warrior code and that's all that matters. And I love that because you don't find that in a character very often. Like usually, you know, authors like to give you complex characters that are like ambiguous and they're not so black and white. Although Hollyleaf isn't actually so black and white, but it's like she's held up this ideal of living this black and white lifestyle, but it does give her trouble because she doesn't live in a black and white world. So that's where the like really cool, interesting stuff comes in the series, I think. But I really like characters who try to hold on to a certain way of thinking, the sort of idealistic thinking, like this is the way the world should be. Sort of Don Quixote. Oh gosh, I messed up her hair. Sorry, Holly. Yay! Well, I'm hoping it'll look smooth even with slightly less in-betweens. I think map animations are pretty forgiving too. I mean, everyone has such a different style that nobody's really looking for it to look any one way. And I've actually always been curious about how they do that in animes, how the animation works in an anime. Because they cheat a lot, but like in a really amazing way. Like they're not cheating as in like the animation's bad, but they're doing all these things to make it take less time, but then you still get this incredible, beautiful animation. So I've always been curious to learn more about that. Yeah, I actually just kind of wish she had, I hate to say this, but I wish that had been the end of Hollyleaf, like in the tunnels and that's it. It's like a fitting end, I guess. I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. It's been a while. Well, it hasn't been that long since I read it, but also there's just so many characters. I think I read it last year or the year before, so it hasn't been that long, but oh my gosh, the stories are so convoluted and I can't keep a lot of it straight. And I don't think it's necessarily that like, I don't know, I feel like the stories aren't organized sometimes. Like Power of Three really confused me. It was just like, okay, so there's a prophecy, but then it switches later and it's a different cat, and now, nope, it's not him either, it's somebody else, and okay, I don't really know where this is going. And I thought by the end of the arc, they'd be like, all right, here it is, and then it's like, nope, the prophecy still hasn't been really fulfilled, and it's still ongoing. I don't know, it was just kind of weird. And then I think that was the one where Soul was in it. I did not like Soul. I know he's a very popular character. He's really cool looking, and I loved him when he first appeared, but then he just didn't really go anywhere. And I was like, oh. Like I was hoping he would, I don't know. I just was hoping for more, not necessarily that he wouldn't be a big cheater, because I like that he ended up being like he's trying to like be power hungry, but I don't know. Just kind of ended. A lot of stuff like that in Warriors is like that. It starts out really strong, and then it sort of, it's like, oh, and it fizzles out. Okay. Yep, I'm going to leave that the way it is. I am, however, going to in between here. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. They dulled him. He was such a cool character at first. I was like, ooh, mystery cat, and I was all intrigued by him. But he just ended up not being as interesting in the end, which is sort of what like happens in the story. Everyone's like, wow, he must be really cool, and then later they're like, oh, never mind. But as an audience, I didn't enjoy that process. I'm not really sure what they could have done differently. Maybe, I don't know. The whole thing about how he got his information from, I guess, Midnight was kind of interesting, but it didn't, I don't know, it still kind of felt like, I guess they didn't really explore his motives so much. He was just randomly power hungry. Maybe that was it. He was like, I don't know. Or maybe they did and I just forgot. I think it was just like he wanted to be important and have everybody look up to him and worship him. Not worship him, but, you know, be like, you're cool. Maybe worship him. I don't know. But they never showed like why he wanted that. It was just sort of, he was just like a random bad guy. He was just like, I want to be powerful. I will lie to the clans and be super smooth and everyone will be into me. Ooh, I like that. See, I like that a lot better if Hollyleaf turns out to be Soul. Although, man, then you start getting into like, she got some makeup tips from Scourge or something, because how did she like change her fur? Did she like go and find badger claws? And I don't even know. See, Scourge was a really ridiculous character, but I liked him. Like, I was like, come on, he has dog claws on him. I don't understand that. But like, he was so cool and interesting that it was fine. This is definitely easier doing it this way with a microphone. I'm really glad I got this microphone, because I don't have to stop and type. Let's see, do I want to pin that as it pops up? That does not work at all. Here. Yeah, I get all these ideas too. I actually have an idea for all my ideas are too ambitious. Like, I don't just think of like a simple map. Not that any map is simple, as I'm sure you know, Little Raindrop. They're all a lot of work. But like, I won't even think of like, oh, a map where a bunch of people can help out. Like, my ideas are all like, I want to do this entire like animated thing and I need to storyboard it out. And I'm like, I don't have time for this in my life. What am I doing? I barely have time to do one map part. How do I think I'm going to do like an entire storyboarded sequence? And then obviously the dream is to then animate it, which that really would never happen. Like, at that point I could sort of make it into a map, I guess, but I think a lot of people like maps because they can kind of do whatever they want and they're not beholden to one script or one, like, the description is enough. They're not like storyboarded out. I think she's saying sorry. I think she's just opening her mouth here. Probably start low so she goes up into that sort of sneery mouth nicely. See, that's what you have to do. That's another reason I do maps. I get committed to, like, you know, people like you, and then I have to do it because it's like, no, I can't just back out. Because I told Little Raindrop I would do it. So then it forces me to find the time, and I do, and that system works. Not always. I did have to drop out of some maps last few times, but okay. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That doesn't need a ton of in-betweens. This might need one though, because it's so quick. Yep. Oh, I might be able to play around with a smear here. Let's see. I don't know. Let me see though. Oh, it still happens too fast. What if I do this? Okay. I like smears, but you don't always need them. I've been real bad lately about just putting in a smear just because it's cool and fun, and then it doesn't actually, the animation doesn't actually need it. It depends. They're very, you have to use them sparingly, usually. I'll just try straight in between and see if that'll be enough. Oh, I haven't seen Secret Life of Pets 2. I don't even think I saw the first one, actually. I really liked the trailers for it when it came out, but I just never got around to actually seeing it. I wasn't super duper excited to go see it. I mean, I was like, oh, that looks really cute, and the commercials were hilarious, like the trailers with like the poodle head banging and stuff. Like, I thought those were really cool, but I don't think I ever got around. I don't go to the movies very often, so unless it like ends up on Netflix, I usually don't watch it. That's how I came to watch Boss Baby. Actually, my daughter wanted to watch Boss Baby, and that one I really was like, yo, this is going to be terrible, and then, you know, this is dumb, and the trailers made it look like just not good at all. And then I was very pleasantly surprised. It was actually super good. My daughter wanted to watch it, and I was like, all right, fine. And I put it on, and then I was like blown away. Like, it was a really solid little story, and the animation was beautiful. It was just really great. But yeah, I don't think I actually sat down and watched Secret Life of Pets 1, and I definitely haven't seen the second one. Did you like the first one? Oh, good. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Well, that's too bad. I wasn't sure what to expect of the first one, but I'm sorry to hear that the second one didn't live up to the first one, if the first one was good. Let's see if that's gonna look good. Might actually just need to expand the animation out. Okay. I wonder if I can keep these eyebrows down while I... Yeah, and a lot of these, the animation tends to be solid because you have the same teams that have done animation on other movies. Like, the animation's usually not the issue. I've never heard of anyone complaining about the animation in any recent 3D movie. Because these people usually know what they're doing. But yeah, it's the story that's like, that's the part you can mess up. And that's because, like, even though lots of people, I don't know, story is like probably one of the hardest things to get right. And even when you're like, you almost get it right, you can mess it up at the end. Like, you can have a really good start and then not follow through. Like, it's just so easy to mess up. Even people who are like really good and have done really good stories before can mess it up. It's just one of those things, I guess. If I had lots of time, I would go crazy with her eyelashes, but maybe that would be a little too much. Well, that's looking pretty good. Actually, this mouth should probably be open, which means the whole jaw is going to come down a bit. Yeah, it's hard to know how to end a good story. You have to kind of know where you're going from the beginning, I think, maybe. I don't know. It's something I'm still learning myself. I want to do, I have some ideas for a comic I want to do, and I've been studying like how to tell stories and reading books on it and stuff, and there's definitely so much that goes into it. It's a little bit like animation. There's just so many different things you got to draw, you got to figure out timing, you got to do anatomy, you got to work on the line quality of your drawings. You got to be thinking about how much something weighs and the physics of it. There's just so much. And stories kind of like that. You're thinking about people's personalities, but also the overarching message in the story. And dialogue is its own thing, like that's its own art. Some people are just good at that. I kind of protracted that sorry out, but I wanted to. It's kind of like sorry. That's okay. I just enjoyed that too much. I like lip syncing just a little bit too much. Okay. So one thing that I've heard over and over again from various sources of people who have done their own projects or who have succeeded in telling stories, usually graphic novel people and stuff like that, is that it's best to do something and finish it. A lot of people tend to have like one story that they've had in their head for 10 years or whatever, or 3 years or whatever, and it's like they never actually put it down and they never try to finish it. They're just always working on it. And they say it's much better to have something and finish it, because then when you finish something, you get to see, it's kind of like when you do an animation. And anyone can start an animation, but then actually in betweening everything out and coloring it, like you learn so much when you get like to the point where you're finished with it. You learn, okay, how do I color in this program? Okay, now I need a background. How does that work? How do I do backgrounds? And so you're learning all these things by finishing something that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. And then when it's done, you know so much more than you did when you started. So they say that it's similar with stories. You have to finish something. You have to get a project, put it down, make it work, finish it, and then move on to the next thing. And that's how you get better and better. So you keep those stories from just living in your head and never going anywhere. Oh, I just saw you said 3 years, and then I said 3 years earlier. I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just listing random years. I've had one story in my head for about 10 years, and I've decided that I'm not going to do it because it's been in my head for too long, and I'm going to do other stories, and then if I ever come back to it, great, I'll be a better storyteller then, but I'm not going to worry about like, this is my dream story that I've had in my head forever. I'm like, nope, it's been in there too long, it's festering, time to let it go, move on to other projects. I'll come back, maybe. But I've been treating it too dearly. It's too close to my heart, so I have to move into some other stuff for a while. All right, this is sort of on 4s, but this is not, and it's a lot. So, well, it's not a lot, but it's very close in between. So I'm just going to onion skin the heck out of this. I can't see what this line's doing. guess it's there. Oh yeah, it is. It's just going down here now. Actually, even when I onion skin, I like to double check, because sometimes you'll catch mistakes. Yeah, see, like this pupil kind of, even though I thought I drew it in the right place from the onion skin, it looks kind of weird, so I'm actually going to eyeball that. I said eyeball, and it's an eyeball. You guys are here for the humor, right? Because that's why I'm doing this. Aw, thanks. Lip sync is one of my favorite jobs. When I first got a job at this one studio where I worked at, I wasn't as good an animator, and so they moved me on to just doing lip sync, which in Flash is not even drawing the mouths. You just literally have them as a number, and you say, I want mouth number 6. Now I want mouth number 15, and so on. And I would do that for like days at a time. And I got really good at figuring out what the mouth is supposed to do and when, depending on the sound. So even though it was kind of a drudgy job at the time, I learned a lot about lip sync, and I actually miss it now that I don't do it. So that's one reason I do maps, is because it keeps me doing lip sync. Although now it's the fun lip sync where I get to draw the mouths and get all crazy with them. The happy news is I eventually got to be a better animator, and they moved me back into animation at the end. But I'm glad they had that drudgy job for me, and they didn't just fire me and go, ah. Yay, happy ending to my story. Yeah, actually what's funny is I got really fast at lip sync. I was actually 3 times as fast as the other guy who was doing lip sync, because I just got into it and I was like, this is boring and I don't want to do it for very long, so I did it as fast as I could. And I literally was finishing 3 or 4 shots a day, and the other guy was getting 1 shot a day. So actually, even though I got to be a better animator, they kept me on lip sync because I was just doing such a good job of it, because I was going so fast that they couldn't afford to move me. And finally what happened is one of my friends became a director, and she was the one that was like, okay, we're taking you off lip sync. This is ridiculous. You don't need to be on lip sync anymore. So I owe that to her. So that was very nice of her. I mean, I also was at a better level and I was worthy to move on, but it was nice of her to, because she was there the whole time I was doing lip sync, and she, before she was a director, she was like, why are you still on lip sync? And I was like, I guess I'm really fast at it. So later she was like, okay, no, we're moving you out. You're coming back to animation. I mean, I was doing some animation at the time. They just weren't giving me as many scenes because I wasn't very good compared to some people. So I would do like animation half the week and then lip sync the rest of the week. But she moved me, so I wasn't doing any lip sync at all. So that was kind of nice. Although now I miss it. But that's okay, because maps exist. Yeah, so with something like this, it doesn't really ever get boring, but in Flash, it can absolutely get boring. Because you basically just have a grid of mouths and you're choosing one. You're not redrawing, and they're all very simple. You're not doing a lot of acting usually. If there's any acting, the animator has usually already done it. It's just you filling in the mouths, the blah, 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 to make everything match up. And that part was very boring. But I really love when I can like just redraw mouths, and then I'm thinking about the sound they're making and how long they're holding their mouth open, and I'm really trying to like carry the emotion. Like I think with this shot, she's singing, but I wanted her to look kind of like slightly bored or tired, or I wanted it to be confusing because later she gets kind of fierce. So I wanted it to be like, is she really sorry, or is she just not in the mood, or like she's like, she comes in a little angry, but then she kind of looks like maybe she's sorry, or maybe she's just, and then she has a moment. So all the mouths are kind of like a little bit smaller, like I didn't go too crazy with her mouth shape, because I wanted it to look as kind of like somewhat disinterested. So she's sort of holding her mouth open lazily, like just letting her jaw sort of hang open lightly. gets kind of big there. It's a little off model. I need to make the eraser bigger. All right, it's looking better, sorta. Hi, Nora Draws. Welcome to the stream. Oh, nice. What part do you have, Nora? And what's happening in it? Because I don't have them all memorized, so I won't know when you just tell me the number. Oh no, little raindrop. Yeah, I actually am not going to be on too much longer. I told myself I'd try to be in bed by 10, so that's in about 10 minutes. So hopefully I'll have this part all in betweened out before then, but I have 10 minutes to in between. Oop, spoilers, there's maple shade. I need one more. Okay, yeah, probably probably an ooh mouth here. And she's going from there to there, so I'll probably move her over just a smidge to here. Oh, will that mess anything up over there though? I may have to redo that in between over there. We shall see when we get there. I have her kind of look this way. Let's see. Nope, actually I don't think I will. Good. Yay! Thanks for dropping in, little raindrop, and you have a good night. Ooh, Nora, that sounds fun. You get to do a nice eye roll. Have you finished your part already, or started it, or halfway through, or? Oh, that looks great. Yeah, I like that ooh mouth there. We're keeping that. I know. My audio's being weird, probably because I have a stream running and I'm streaming some SoundCloud. I know. Let's see. That's funny that in between works because it seems really weird. Oh no, actually it gives it a nice little jump there at the end. Okay, that's gonna work. All right, then let's, oh, I wonder if I can make her head move in 3D by turning her ear slightly this way. What program are you using, Nora? You said tween, so I want to say you're in Flash, but that might not be the case because people say tween for in-betweens all the time. I'm just used to thinking of them as motion tweens, and I know I use Flash a lot, so that's how I think of it. Hi, Ava Films. Thank you. Oh man, I love that all these people from this map are joining the stream. What part are you doing? Oh, Nora, that's fine. I actually have thought about doing one of my map parts in the future in Adobe Animate because I actually do it for my job, so I'm super familiar with it and I know I could probably pump it out really fast. I'm a big fan of Adobe Animate. I'm also a big fan of Krita, but I like them both. They just do very different jobs. But yeah, I've always felt Animate was very simple to learn compared to some other programs, so I can totally feel that. Cool. What happens in your part? Are you finished with it already? Oh, nice. Let me see if I can. I don't think I. Oh, wait. There's a go. Go to channel. Okay, please open in a new tab. Okay, you did good. Let's see. Ah, there it is. I'm going to pull it over here. Nice. That's awesome. I'll play that again. Very nice. Whoops. I'm looking forward to doing the red outline with Holly, although I'm not going to clean my lines, so we'll see if that actually looks good on this or not. We'll find out when I go to color. I may go to color and then realize I can't cheat it. I have to clean everything up, but I'm hoping I can avoid cleaning just because I just do not have the time. I need to get this done by Saturday, and I also have some freelance I'm supposed to be trying to finish by Saturday, so I've piled a lot of stuff on my plate. Oh, okay, good. So I'm not the only one. Well, I think this is like the most people I've ever had on one of my streams. I had 7 people in here at one point. I'm used to having like 2 or 4. So thanks everybody. I'm very appreciative that you've stopped in to say hello and hang out with me. And I'm very excited that a bunch of other map people came in here because it's nice to chat about the different parts of the maps and stuff. What do I want the eyebrows to do? I guess they'll just stay there. All right. I think that's looking pretty good, actually. I'm going to pause my music and I'm going to play through the whole thing because I'm getting ready to end this stream. Good night, Ava. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, thanks, Janori. Your name sounds really familiar. I feel like I know you. Where do I know you from? Wait, did you take one of my classes? Yeah, I do. I knew I remembered your name. I think it was not the last one I taught, but it was one of like last year or something. Yeah. It's good to see you again, Janori. Let's see, yep. Actually, I did sort of clean up these drawings over here, so they're going to look all clean and the rest of it won't. Yeah, when I do that, they're like super clean compared to the rest of the scene, but that's okay. Let me try something. How is she actually going to look with red outlines? Ooh, yes, I already like it. Can I color this real quick? Oh, I can. Let's see. Oh, nope, I can't. I have a gap somewhere. Well, I could also just cheat it. Let's see. Probably be closer to purpley blue. I'll just do a quick color layer. This is probably best for coloring. There. Actually, okay, that'll at least get most of the job done. Oh boy. The lines in a different color is if you have the lines on their own layer, which I did, you can lock the transparency on that layer. It's something you can do in just about any program, but in Krita, so this layer called tie downs is where I have my lines, and my transparency lock is right here on the right, this little thing here. And if I lock it, you can see there's a little lock that appears. I can now color these lines anything I want, and it only colors the lines. So I can go in here and do whatever I want with any color, really. So that's how I did that. But you have to make sure your lines are on their own layer. They can't be on the same layer as the colors or whatever. Oh, I was like, where did my colors go? And I'm not doing this for the finals. Okay, I think this is gonna work. I don't remember what color she's got. Like, anyone working on the map remember what color her eyes are? I mean, they're green, but does she just have white and then green? That's gonna look real funky with the red outlines. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play around with these colors a bit more because I'm not crazy about the way just this looks. Although I know that she's got to be down opacity too, so that'll help. Because you're gonna be able to see the background through her. I wonder if I can do like a gradient fill. That might look better. So it looks like her tail is, oh gosh, how do you do gradients in here? I forget. Is there a tool? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, now how do you tell it which? Okay. Well, I'll have to experiment with this later because it's one of those things that I could go down a real deep rabbit hole. But that looks all right, I guess. I'm not crazy about it. I'm gonna have to play around with this a bit to make it look good. Oop, let's turn that off. Do-do-do. Oh, sorry. I think I might have, here, I'll show it to you. It's under the layers panel here. And I can't really make this any bigger, I don't think. But over here, all the way on the right is there's all these little icons over on the right. And the one that's a bunch of little squares, that's your transparency. So you can lock it and unlock it on all your layers. And a little lock appears when it's locked. Hi, little raindrop. Thanks for stopping in for a second. Oh, you have to choose a different color to do a gradient. I should go to bed, but I'm like really curious what this will look like. I have to be at frame 1. Nope, not frame 1. What frame is this at? Not frame. Okay. I just don't know how to choose the second color. I don't see where that is. It's usually under tool options, but I do not see it. Oh, linear. Maybe it'll give me the option now. Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay, how do you choose? Oh, it's probably, where's my, isn't there a color picker over here or something? Oh, there's the colors. Okay. Foreground to transparent. I want to do foreground to background. How do I change that? Oh, foreground to background. Wamp wamp. Okay, now how do I choose a background? I'm used to Flash, so I'm looking for the things where I usually look for them in Flash, so it's not probably the smartest way to approach it. So if we have this bluish gray. Okay. Where's my background color selector? Well, for now, let's try it. See what it looks like. Just this. No, I want just this colored. There we go. Again, I locked my layer. This time I locked my color layer. The problem with this is that when it animates, it's going to look funky. So it's going to be a lot of fiddling with it. And I still don't know how to get to my background color. GPS fire incandescent. Whoa. I'm going to play with all these settings in Krita sometime. Okay. Well, I want foreground to background, and I don't know how to set the background. Oh, haha. I found it, I think. Okay. Now I want this color to be here. Okay, yeah, that was it. I mean, that looks a little better. I don't know. This is still looking funky. Maybe it's just the color gray I'm picking. Maybe it needs to be more of a purpley gray. That does look a little better if it's closer to red. Maybe. And then we drop her opacity a bit. Not too much though. All right, bye Nora. All right, actually I think I need to go to bed too. That's enough messing around with this. But thanks for joining me, everybody. I'll try to stream again sometime this week because I need to try to finish this. Next time I stream I might be coloring, although I don't know, I still got a lot of animation to do, so we'll see. All right, have a good night everybody.